Hi, Jim Romer with the Weather Wealth newsletter. All my friends out there, weather enthusiasts, and also hurricane specialists. This was the active tropics on August 22nd. My goodness, about seven tropical waves, depressions, or storms. But why could the East Coast, Florida, and Gulf potentially not have a major devastating hurricane this season? There may be one, but sometimes during La Nina events, there's three or four, like there have been in four of the last 5 years. We're going to talk about this because there's all this hype about the hurricane season, but we have what we call a warm Nino 1.2, the warmest part of El Nino along the west coast there of Peru in red. And when that happens, this is from my Climate Predict program. Notice for September in red there, it's kind of hard to see, minus 1.8 inches below normal. Rainfall in the northern Gulf and parts of Florida. Certainly there could be tropical waves and depressions and flooding and rains. There's going to be a system hitting Florida next Tuesday or Wednesday, but it probably won't be anything more than a tropical storm at this point. And the reason is wind shear, which often happens with El Nino events when you have that warming off the coast of Peru, in contrast to La Nina the last 3 or 4 years and many devastating hurricanes around the East Coast, Florida, and the Gulf Coast. So we have record warm ocean temperatures. That's the kicker, because if it wasn't for that, we'd have a very weak hurricane season overall. So it's kind of confusing. But if you look at most El Nino events, let's just look at two. 1987, the ACE, the Atlantic cyclone energy, when it's above about 120 to 150 for the entire season, that's when you generally have had at least two or three category 4 or 5 hurricanes like you had in 3 or 4 of the last 5 years. Notice 87, the ACE only 38, total named storms about 7. The big El Nino of 2015, ACE only 67, total storms about 9. We've already had that many storms, but a lot of them have actually been weak. So we could end up with 15, 20 named storms this season. But again, because of this wind shear from El Nino in the Gulf of Mexico, it is possible that a devastating, catastrophic hurricane could actually miss the United States. Again, if it wasn't for the warm ocean temperatures, in my view, because of climate change and not because of El Nino, I'd have about 80 to 90% confidence we'd have no major hurricanes this fall. Chances are still probably better than 50-50, but stay tuned to Weather Wealth and get a 2 free week trial subscription. If you want to learn about commodity trading, how to invest in options and futures from grains to coffee and natural gas, cotton. There's all sorts of droughts around the world. In India right now, China's having flooding and droughts. U.S. Texas crops have been hurt. A lot going on, and this is going to be great alternative investments for you other than the stock market. We're looking at commodity trades. Enjoy.